What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Dunk. Dunk has joined the chat, and today, man, I think the NBA is broken. Holy shit. Hey, look, man. I don't know, man. The NBA broken. It's been a lot of things that, NBA's been real sus about, like the fifth seed making the finals, you know what I'm saying? People getting robbed from all-stars, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man, all type of stuff, bro, you know what I'm saying? So, look, from the look of it, it's saying all-star struggle. You got players averaging, I don't know, man. Look, we finna get into it, though. So, look, if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are subscribed, just hit that like button. Without further ado, let's get right into this reaction.
Remember a few months ago when I made a video about how NBA players are scoring less points this season and rule changes have made high-scoring games harder to come by than ever before? Well, things have changed.
Ooh, a fresh pie? Save me a slice.
Hey, how y'all feel about LeBron? Y'all think LeBron the GOAT, or y'all think Michael Jordan is the GOAT? Y'all let me know, man.
That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's... All right, that's good.
Yo, it's been if y'all been paying attention though, it's been a lot of people like scoring so many.
Good. It's enough slices.
Over the last couple of weeks, players are dropping more 50 bombs than Kobe in '07. Collectively, the entire league spent the first 3 months of the season going through the worst scoring drought in over a decade. But now, seemingly out of nowhere, we are getting massive scoring nights and career highs.
Bro, it's been crazy
literally
lately.
Every single night. Is this huge bump in scoring due to some sort of competitive race? One guy has a big night and others join in to see if they can top it? Are players putting up bigger numbers because the league has decided to relax on the strict rule changes they made at the beginning of the season? Or is something much bigger going on here?
I think, me personally, y'all, I just think niggas just getting buckets. I just think niggas is getting buckets. You know what I'm saying? I just think niggas is getting buckets. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm saying? But let's see what he got to say, though.
Today's video is brought to you by Draft.
Woo, I like the grind, buddy. I like you getting paid and shit, but we gonna have to skip. But I ain't gonna make it too bad. I like the grind, buddy. I like you getting paid, but we gonna have to skip.
This NBA season got off to a pretty rocky start in terms of offense. Team scoring was down, player scoring was down, and efficiency was down.
Okay.
Among the top players in the league, there virtually wasn't a single player who was outperforming expectations, or even meeting expectations for that matter. We saw the first 50-point game of the season on November 8th, just 19 days after the start of the season. We wouldn't see the second 50-point game until December 12th, 2.5 months into the season and just two 50-point games to show for it. Things began to heat up a bit in January with 4 50-point games in a single month. And closing out the end of February, the league added 2 more 50-point bombs, bringing the season total up to just 8. But on that last day of February, Ja Morant dropped a career-high 52 points against the Spurs. And then all hell broke loose. 5 days later, LeBron drops 56 points, the third highest single game total of his entire career. The next day, Jason Tatum scores 54. 2 days later, Kyrie Irving scores 50 points. 3 days later, LeBron scores 50. 2 days after that, Durant drops 53 points in just his 5th game back off of an injury. The next day, Karl Anthony Towns drops a career-high 60 points. And then the very next day, Kyrie Irving pops off for a career-high 60 points as well.
Yo, March, hey, I really think it's like, look, March, you know what I'm saying, March Madness, you know what I'm saying? So, it probably is something about March Madness, got everybody turned up. Hey, I don't,
the man is a part-time NBA player, and right when you thought this blistering scoring run was over, Sadiq freaking Bey drops a career-high 51 points against the Magic. What's going on? Usually, NBA fans are lucky if we get to watch a couple 50-point games in a single month. We just saw 9 50-plus point games in 18 days. In fact, the 8 50-point games in the month of March are the most in a single month in 60 years. Guys, we are only 18 days into the month. And if that isn't crazy enough, here's a stat that'll really hurt your head. Out of the last 20 NBA seasons, only 9 of them had more than 8 50-point performances for the entire season, which means in just 18 days, the NBA has produced more 50-point games than 11 of the last 20 seasons. Just a few months ago, we were watching superstars struggle to even get 30. And now we got Kyrie Irving scoring 41 points in the first half, Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench for 45, and an old man going for 56.
Hey, don't disrespect Bron like that, boy. He might be 37, but look, he trying to carry them losers. And hey, look.
So,
you know what I'm saying? He trying his hardest.
Well,
bro,
I think
y'all know LeBron is like averaging 30 right now, bro. That's bro. He hasn't been doing that since the Cavs, bro. Like before he left to go to the Heat, bro.
The explanation behind all these massive offensive games is very simple. Steph drops 47 on his birthday. Karl Anthony Towns puts up a career-high 60 on the anniversary of a very significant day in his life. Kyrie and Durant each having monster games after their game against Philly and James Harden. I think I see what's going on here.
What's going on?
The NBA's best players are playing one big game of anything you can do, I can do better. Fueled by their innately competitive nature, these players are finding absolutely any reason to tee off on 30 shots and throw the playbook out the window as they barrel their way into the paint for another and one. Ja Morant's 52-point game was the first of this 3-week-long scoring barrage. But I think it really started with LeBron's 56. After watching LeBron go berserk, stars around the league took the opportunity to one-up him, or at least put on their best show.
Okay.
The Celtics have been on fire, so Tatum decides to take the liberty of giving himself a huge night by putting up a career-high 15 three-point attempts. Now, no one goes out and just attempts 15 threes, and those 54 points were no mistake. Jason Tatum went out of his way to have a career night. In the midst of talks regarding health and politics, Kyrie drops off a 50-point game. As a reminder, that
hey man,
despite
Kyrie
his part-time
one half of my
status,
favorite point
he
guards,
too
bro.
is
You know
one of
what
the
I'm saying?
league's
The other half
most
got to go to
elite
my boy
players.
Demetrius.
And as the weeks go along, more and more stars join in on the scoring frenzy. Trae Young goes for 47, but is overshadowed by a 53-point performance by KD. And so he comes back with 46 points the very next night, but is outdone once again by Stephen Curry's 47-point birthday special and Cat's 60 points explosion.
Damn.
All on the same exact
Dang.
and
Crazy.
as if things couldn't get any more out of hand, Kyrie follows up the performance of the season by matching Towns' 60 with a 60 bomb of his own. One thing I've been absolutely sure of for years is that the best scorers in the NBA could average 40 a game if they wanted to. And if the past couple...
Hey, I don't know. 40 a game average if they wanted to? I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know, man. Y'all think these players could score 40 a game if they really wanted to?
weeks isn't proof of that, I'm not sure what is. Because when you can score at the level of Steph and Durant and Kyrie, the difference between 30 and 50 is simply shooting more shots, which might possibly be the most obvious statement of the year. But many fans disagree with this idea, oftentimes their rebuttal being, if they could average 40 a night, then why don't they? To which I can assume that person has never really played basketball before. Because despite being the best offensive options on their teams, these ultra-elite offensive talents can't just put up 30 shots a game. That would be a locker room disaster. Teammates would feel uninvolved, the offense would become stagnant, and it just isn't winning basketball.
Right.
Michael Jordan ran into this problem a lot prior to the 1990 NBA season. Mike was scoring 40 points literally every other game for 3 years. He even had a stretch where he scored 40 plus points in 12 of 14 games.
He did what? He did what?
The dude could get a bucket at will, but it took him years to realize this style of play was never going to win him a championship. And as he found the exact role his team needed him to play, he began to win more and more as he scored the ball less and less. Trust me, if Kevin Durant wanted to average 40 a game, he could and would. If Giannis wanted to, he could. In fact, I'd argue that there are about a dozen players in the NBA right now that could go out and give you 40 a night if that was their sole mission. KD, Giannis, Steph, Kyrie, Harden, Embiid, Luka, LeBron, Ja, Trey, Jokic, Tatum. All of them could give you insane scoring numbers every night. But, like every great player knows, that will never get them to their ultimate goal. Take Kevin Durant, for example.
Damn!
Top 5 bucket getter in NBA history, but doesn't have crazy scoring averages. This season, when Durant scores 30 points or more, his numbers look like this. Now, when he scores between 20 and 30 points this season, his shooting numbers look like this. The only real difference is how many shots he's putting up. Now, riddle me this. If Durant's efficiency is nearly the exact same from 20 points to 30 points, do you think his efficiency would change from 30 points to 40? Time's up. The answer is no. Durant, among other offensive stars, could absolutely give you crazy numbers every night if that was their only objective. And over the last 3 weeks, we've seen what happens when stars make scoring their only objective. But I think possibly the most glaring example of this came back in 1994. Going into the last game of the season, a 21-year-old Shaquille O'Neal and prime David Robinson were neck and neck in the race for the scoring title. Both players having an average of exactly 29.3 points per game. In his last game of the season with the scoring title on the line, Shaq scored 32 points, keeping his scoring average virtually the same as it was before. But apparently David Robinson wanted the scoring title just a bit more than Shaq did, since Robinson exploded for a career-high 71 points in the final game of the season, bringing his scoring average from 29.3 to 29.8 and securing the scoring title for the season.
You were feeding that bad steroids? Bruh, you really scored 71 points?
Now, both Shaq and David played their last games of the season on the same night, but David's game was earlier in the day, which means he had to put up as many points as possible in hopes that Shaq wouldn't top him later that day. So going into the game, David and the Spurs had one goal and one goal only. Give David the ball and get him as many points as humanly possible. Those 71 points were not a fluke. This historic night was no accident. David wanted to score a lot of points, and so he did just that. And there was nothing anyone could do about it. In an interview after the game, Robinson said, "It was unbelievable. As a leader, I just try to win games, but tonight my team really wanted me to shoot it. When the game started, they were looking for me almost every time down the court." Shaq also commented on Robinson's big night, saying, "They ran every play for him. If I hadn't been triple teamed and was selfish and tried to score every time I touched the ball, I could have scored 72. Like I said, big scoring nights are no fluke for great offensive players. If they want to go out and give you 50, they will go out and give you 50. Which brings us back to this unbelievable 3-week stretch of NBA basketball. Game after game of huge scoring nights and career highs. You know, it's too bad these players really want to win. Otherwise, we'd see this stuff far more often. There's nothing like tuning into a game and watching history unfold in real time. Watching the crowd erupt shot after shot, knowing the man with the hot hand is coming down the court with only a bucket on his mind and nothing the defense can do to stop him. When a great player decides he wants to go off, he's gonna go off. And when a dozen great players decide they want to go off, you get 50-point games every other night.
Right.
So I guess these games aren't really unbelievable. In fact, they're all part of the plan. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, until next time.
Do y'all really think when they be scoring 50, 40, 50 points, man, do y'all think it just come to them? Like, do y'all think they plan it before the game start? Or do y'all think, like, if they hot, just give them the ball, you feel me? So, I don't really know, man. How y'all feeling? He's saying it's part of a plan. You know, I just feel like, to me, I feel like they probably just be having a hot hand, so just give them the ball for the rest of the game, you feel me? But look, W vid, W reaction. Hey, man, if you new, hit that subscribe button. If you already subscribed, hit that like